stranger things have happened. Will the Chicago Bears get pushed out of Chicago? You know, the Seattle Supersonics, somehow they got, sent down to Oklahoma City. Weak leadership, weak business deals. We know the Illinois has got weakness in its governor. And let's go Brandon Johnson at the helm in Chicago. This could be a thing. Let's get into it. Where are they looking at? Northern Indiana, which isn't that far away. Here we go. If this happens, podcasts are just going to explode. J.B. Pritzker is driving the Chicago Bears out of Illinois. Just like driving how many thousands of businesses? 10,000 businesses, something like that. And let's go Brandon Johnson. He's driving businesses out of Chicago as well. I mean, it's insanity. These are socialists. This is what they do. Chicago Bears fans explode at Governor J.B. Pritzker over potential reports about team moving out of Chicago. So it's not a sure thing. Let's be clear there, right? This isn't a sure thing. But it seems more likely, given all the other information that we have. You've got terrible leadership in your government. You've got absolutely horrific leadership in your mayor. I mean, let's go Brandon Johnson. He can't work out anything that makes sense that's going to drive business in. They are pushing businesses out. They are pushing people out. And the only reason more people don't leave is because there's so many disadvantaged people that are so upside down in their lifestyle that they can't afford to leave. They're like, we're stuck. We're stuck here. We'd love to leave, but this is our hometown. This is where we are. They're getting taxed 10 ways from Sunday. The taxation in Chicago is absolutely nuts. Chicago Bears are potentially looking for a new stadium in the future. One location they have looked at is Arlington Heights, which is about 36 miles to the north and west. Let's go here. Here's what that looks like. So here's downtown Chicago, right? Let me pull this up here. There we go. All right, downtown Chicago, there's Arlington Heights, like an hour drive. It is 36 miles, I think. Let me get back to my main story here. Just wanted to give you a little idea what that looks like and where that is. Well, Bears President CEO Kevin Warren announced on yesterday, that they'll be expanding their search for a new stadium. Is this just pressure? Well, yeah, it is pressure. But as the story goes, leadership in Illinois and in Chicago isn't playing ball, literally. One area they're potentially looking at is Northwest Indiana, which is also about an hour drive to the south. It's not far from Chicago, but would be a massive embarrassment for the state of Illinois if they lost the Bears to the state of Indiana. Oh, I'd love to see that happen. Love to see that happen. A lot of pressure on Governor Illinois J.B. Pritzker to keep the Bears in Illinois, or there are going to be many Chicago fans who are absolutely furious. Chicago fans do not want to see the Bears move out of Illinois. No kidding. I remember as a kid, the highlight reel in the 70s sometime, like 76, 77. I'm not a huge sports guy, but back in the day, you didn't have ESPN running continuously. You know what I mean? And one of the highlights that you would see was like ABC Wide World of Sports. And, they'd have all those slow motion where they'd slow it down to like 240 frames per second. And the guy's just getting the ball over into the end zone. But I remember one of the stories back then was Walter Payton having a 101-degree temperature. They hand him the ball 40 times. There you go. I'm going to give you this ball. You're going to run as fast as you can into these incredibly large human beings who are trying to kill you. And we'll just see how you do. And we're going to do that 40 times. And he had like 275 yards in that game with a 101-degree temperature. So I always grew up, and we'd always, we're here from Seattle. We don't get a lot of snow. Plus, we have the Seahawks, which up until recently were just like a no-go. I mean, just absolute soy boys, right? Just, Seahawks. Yeah. But Chicago, you're always playing in the snow, and you're like, God, those are some tough guys there. And then that Walter Payton deal. And then, you've got Jim McMahon. You've got a whole bunch of other players that are just absolutely legendary. So to have Chicago lose the Bears, I mean, that would just absolutely be like, what are we doing? So Kevin Warren, CEO of Bears, says the team will expand its stadium search, Northwest Indiana. Okay. We're going to look at that in a second, but come on, here's some tweets. Here's some Twitter. Here's some X action. Come on. You've been here long enough to acknowledge it's not 30 years ago. It's not 30 years ago. These are communists in Illinois disguised as Democrats because they're just pushing everybody out. Doesn't matter if it's an enormous entrenched sports, franchise. Look at Oakland. Hey, let's just let all of our sports teams go. Let 3 go. It's totally possible. Watch J.B. Pritzker has a better chance of losing the Bears Stadium to Indiana than he has of winning the Democratic presidential nomination. I don't disagree with that. I do not disagree with that. And somebody says it's an empty threat to move to Indiana because the Bears own the land in Arlington Heights. Yeah, but if they're not getting any kind of commitment from leadership, I think leadership, they're like, oh, we got so many issues going on. We can't seem to get anything right. Everything's leaving. There's no way in hell we can justify giving you the tax breaks, giving you the money, giving you whatever they need to get their $2 billion new facility up and going, that they're just like, okay. Well, they moved to Indiana. All right. Okay. Chicago's still a great city. It's a great city. As everybody's leaving, everybody who can leaves. Significant Bear Stadium news comes just 3 days before hosting their biggest game at Soldier Field in years. And that is against the Packers, right? Pritzker doing his best to force the Bears, businesses, and people out of Illinois. And it's working. Were I the Bears, I would ditch Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker, that train wreck, in a nanosecond. Illinois is the trifecta. All Dem, read Marxist worldview. I don't disagree. Now, some people are going in with Marxism. They're going in with communists. I just stay straight with socialism because, like the cup says, wherever it is, socialism works for those who don't, right? Socialism works for those who don't. These guys don't give a rat's ass about sports. I mean, look at J.B. Pritzker. Has he ever been to the gym? I don't think so. Just let's go Brandon Johnson. Don't really care, right? So if Pritzker were to let the Bears leave Illinois for Indiana, this would be his biggest failure as governor of Illinois. The fact that he wants to run for president in 2028 is laughable. But you know what? It's not that much different than Gavin Newsom, than Podcaster Newsom. Podcaster Newsom has absolutely tanked his state, California, as well. But he's got that Democrat royalty in him, right? Married into, the whole family, and he's been there for years and years, and he's absolutely tanked the state of California. But because he looks smooth and he's kind of Hollywood, got those Hollywood looks, he's got that flow, Democrats will vote for him. Because who else are they going to vote for? Going to vote for AOC? Seriously. If you're a Democrat, you're going to vote for AOC. You're going to vote for your handsome white guy. Yeah, you're going to go handsome white guy all day long. Are you going to go for Jasmine Crockett? Those are your options. Like, those are your legit options if you are a Democrat. I mean, terrible, right? Absolutely terrible. Let's see. We've got a Tiffany Henyard update for you too, by the way. Hey, and for the individual who sent me from the Chicago Police Department, I won't go the other side. You sent me a t-shirt. I wear it all the time because people in Seattle hate the police. And then when they see you wearing a Chicago police shirt that has the thin blue line on it, they're like, what is wrong with this guy? I just wear it around because people are, oh, yeah. They're wearing their Black Lives Matter shirt. I'm wearing Chicago police, thin blue line. So funny. All right, let's get into this. This is a letter. This is Dear Chicago Bears fans, and there's a couple of paragraphs. I'm not going to read the whole thing because you can read it if you want to. But we have not asked for state taxpayer dollars to build the stadium in Arlington Park. We listened to state leadership. Oops. Yeah. We listened to state leadership and relied on their direction and guidance, yet our efforts have been met with no legislative partnership because they don't want to play ball. They're morons. They're morons, just like leadership in California, just like leadership in Oakland. Let everybody go. Can't afford it. We're broke. Stakes for Illinois are significant. Thousands of union jobs, year-round attractions, and global events made possible by a fixed-roof stadium that would provide long-term revenue for the state. For a project of this scale, uncertainty has significant consequences. It's like any financial decision, any financial market. The more stability you have, the more you know what your end game's going to be, the easier it is to make your decision. Stable timelines are critical, as are predictable processes and elected leaders who share a sense of urgency and appreciation for public partnership that projects with this level of impact require. I don't think you can get that out of J.B. Pritzker. I know you can't get that out of Let's Go Brandon Johnson. Because that guy just wants to tax big business. He doesn't want to invest in a football stadium. He's more concerned about teachers leaving Chicago than he is about the Bears, and that is consistent with socialism. That's consistent with socialism. We have not received that sense of urgency or appreciation to date. We've been told directly by state leadership, our project will not be a priority in 2026 because they're putting out all kinds of fires. This ain't one of them. And they've got to cut their losses at something. This is one of them. Now, maybe they've done that and kind of pushed back to the Bears. I don't know. A lot of this is political, right? A lot of this is political, and we don't know the ins and outs of this. Is this just a push to get J.B. Pritzker and Let's Go Brandon Johnson on the same page and light that fire under their ass? I don't know, because nothing else seems to work, does it? It just, you got businesses left and right going up. Sayonara. We'll see you later. So despite the benefits the stadium would bring to Illinois and specifically Chicago, consequently, in addition to Arlington Park, which is that first site that we saw that the Bears already own land in, we need to expand our search and critically evaluate opportunities throughout the wider Chicagoland region, including Northwest Indiana. Oh, Indiana would jump at that, don't you think? I think so. I mean, my next podcast will be, Indiana. They're going to offer them a tax break of, because they can. This is not about leverage. This is 100% about leverage, but you can't tell the fans that. I'm just writing this letter to get you guys to just absolutely run down the throat of J.B. Pritzker, your governor who you voted for, and Let's Go Brandon Johnson. This is leverage to light those fires. We spent years trying to build a new home in Cook County. Good luck with that, right? Does anything go the right direction in Cook County? I don't think so. We invested significant time and resources evaluating multiple sites and rationally decided on a new home in Arlington Heights. Our fans deserve a world-class stadium. It is so wild. And I know their existing stadium, it's been renovated, it's been redone, but it's like it's time for a new one, right? It's time for a new one. And what is so interesting is how quickly these stadiums come and go now. I was a kid, I watched the Kingdome go up, and then, it was obsolete 10 years into its existence. And then we tear it down, we build two big, huge stadiums, a football stadium and a baseball stadium. And then we build a brand new key arena, which we had to call Climate Pledge Arena. Try living in a city where the name they come up for your arena that doesn't have the Sonics, because they're down in Oklahoma, is called Climate Pledge Arena. It's so painful to say, because I don't have a pledge to the climate. I don't. I think most of that is just absolute 100% nonsense. But I digress. Our players and coaches deserve a venue that matches the championship standard they strive for every day. Well, bottom line is you need a stadium you can make money with. That's what this is all about. It's always about the money, right? It's not about championship standard. It's not about giving the fans the best experience. Fans are going to get the best experience when they win a Super Bowl, right? I mean, just they are. Jim McMahon, that guy was great. Just kind of a Looney Tune, but he was fun to watch. With that in mind, our organization must keep every credible pathway open to deliver that future. This is that flame underneath the pot. Hey, Landon Johnson, J.B. Pritzker, they're in there. Let's see if we can turn up the temperature. As we move forward, our goal is clear. Build a world-class football stadium team that has a world-class stadium worthy of our world-class fans and a stadium that reflects the future we are building together. So he's getting the fans on board with, hey, you might have to drive to Indiana. Bears fans would do that. You guys would do that, right? I think so. But what a shame. I mean, how leadership just doesn't jump all over trying to keep a franchise like the Bears going in town. You know what I mean? It's like, how do they lose the plot so quickly? Just, we got our hands full, just, trying to piecemeal things together here. Let's go. Brandon Johnson's battling through $1 billion budget deficit because he spent $2.5 billion on the criminal illegals. But don't worry about that. We had to do that. Sanctuary city, sanctuary state. So how about this? Let's switch gears. This is a quick update. You guys ask me all the time, what's happening in South Holland? What is happening? Township of Thornton, Village of Dalton. What's going on? Well, this is the only thing I could really kick up. And this is from Illinois Leaks. Henyard tries cleaning up image. Oof, my first thought is, good luck with that. I mean, I thought we'd see OnlyFans by now, right? Right? She had a $99 book that she put out that's now, I think, $49.99. Is it even selling? Who knows? Who cares, right? $99 book. That's impressive. So the Illinois Leaks, and I've read from them a lot. They've got some good inside stuff. They get the scoop sometimes. So before we get started, the answer is and always will be no. That's what the writer of this article says. We have received these from others in the past. She is asking them to delete an article that is based on straight up facts that happened, historical facts, and have never removed an article based on any of these compliance notices or takedown demands, whether they were sent to us by attorneys or image companies like this one. Our publications speak for themselves and have never been successfully challenged in any court of law. Tiffany Henyard, the former mayor of Dalton, Illinois, is apparently attempting to clean up her image, or what is left of it, after her disastrous term as mayor ended. Why even bother doing this? Why would you bother working with the company, paying some money? Because this is like a credit cleanup company, right? Except it's for the image of politicians. Well, because she wants to move on and do something else, and she's got it in her mind that if I can only get this one taken down. There are so many nonsensical articles and so many articles on her that don't paint her in a good light, that there is zero chance that she can clean things up. Just like Brandon Johnson can clean things up. Just like J.B. Pritzker can get elected as president of the United States after what's happened in Illinois. Today, we received an email from the compliance department with the subject line of removal request, first request, respectfully. They're coming in soft. They're coming in with the soft approach. My mind immediately said no prior to even opening the email to read it. Below is the entire text of this request from the cyber investigation unit of a company called Business Image Lift. All right? If you want to read this, if you want to find this, it's not hard to find. It's called Henyard Tries Cleaning Up Image, Wants Articles Removed. And the bottom line is they want this post taken down. Judge slaps Tiffany Henyard with 3 restraining orders. I mean, it's it's not salacious. It's not like Tiffany Henyard slept with another dude. It's not accusing her of cheating or anything. It's a historical fact, which is that a judge slapped Tiffany Henyard with 3 restraining orders. I don't know if you remember this, but Tiffany Henyard was in a battle with her trustees, and she unlawfully, per the judge, appointed police chief, village administrator, and a village attorney. She just unilaterally said, nope, these 3 individuals are new positions. And she did that, and the judge said no. And so this article was, Judge slaps Tiffany Henyard with 3 restraining orders. So it's kind of like, why would you take this down? This is literally a historical fact. The court granted the temporary restraining orders and voided those recent appointments, stated those individuals do not work for the village of Dalton, and restrained Henyard's 3 voided appointees from attempting to work at the village. Straight up fact. Straight up fact. So that to me is just like, what are you doing? Literally, what are you doing? Why would you go down this road? Who knows, right? Who knows? But Tiffany says that Tiffany firmly believes that much of what she has endured stems from racially motivated scrutiny and unwarranted persecution. As a woman of color in public office, she has faced disproportionate criticism and judgment that far exceeded the bounds of fairness. Somebody needs to tell Tiff that this isn't 2020. This isn't the summer of love anymore. That has passed. DEI is gone. You didn't earn it, and it's now illegal. So you got to come up with a new spin here. This whole racial thing, it's not going to work. Everybody knows you were a terrible mayor. Everybody knows you were a terrible supervisor. And you didn't get reelected. So that's how the ball bounces, right? I mean, that's just, that happened. And this happened. Nevertheless, she remains steadfast in her belief in justice and transparency. Well, what kind of transparency? Because she is asking to have something taken down that is literally a historical fact. Yeah. Tiffany is now following all appropriate legal channels to ensure these issues are addressed properly and efficiently. Her goal is not only to clear her name, also to stand as an example of perseverance in the face of unjust treatment. Tiff continues to focus on serving her community with integrity, courage, and compassion, values that have always defined her leadership. Whew. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. We understand and respect the principles of freedom and speech, importance of a diverse range of opinions in the media. However, the information presented in this article is detrimental to Ms. Henyard's personal and professional well-being. We appreciate this initial opportunity to work with you and request your amicable assistance in the resolution of this matter. This is from Business Image Lift. Compliance Department, Cyber Investigation Unit. What? Are you either a compliance department or a cyber investigation unit? Which one are you? I think you're just making titles up. And you're an NALS member, whatever that is. Don't really know. Don't really care. But it's nonsense. It's 100% just nonsense. Kind of like Tiff's time in office was just filled with nonsense like this. It was nonsensical. It was absolute crazy train, right? She's still got the FBI probe going on. Haven't heard much about that. How long has it been? It's been been damn near a year? Something like that. I think she was booted from office in March of 2025. And there's been virtually no news of what she's doing. You guys ask me all the time, hey, what's the update on Tiff? And I'm like, there is no update. I've searched OnlyFans and she's not there. So I don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you. What's she doing? Don't really know. And if something comes up, I'll let you know. But it's also like, well, she's off the radar. She has no pull. She has no political office. She has Nothing to screw up that I can figure out. Because if she did, I'd podcast that for you. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for being here. We'll catch up soon. Bye for now.